Hello, this is Mrs. Wiafe. This is our 2018 to 2019 open house presentation. So just a little about me. The biggest thing that's happened to me recently, besides getting to teach third grade, was that I got married this summer. So that is my handsome husband on the left. His name is Randy. And then that is my beautiful family on the right. We had a fabulous time. Besides that, let's see, I'm really enjoying the change to third grade. I grew up in Washington State and went to college in Portland, Oregon, where I got my Bachelor's of Arts and my Master's of Arts in elementary education. I've never taught third grade before, but I've taught first for 5 years, and then I taught second for 1 year. I'm so excited for the change. Besides teaching and being married, I enjoy cooking and reading and going to yoga and going to concerts and things like that. So here's my contact information. My email is highlighted red because I don't know if that's what it's going to be. I will get a new one at some point, but I'm just waiting on the technology team for D11 to come through with that. So when I have a new email, I will email it out to you. Those are my classroom phone, front office phone, and attendance lines. Class philosophy is that kids are safe, supported, respected, and challenged. I know you can't see it that well, but those are our classroom rules that we came up. We based it around our habits of work, which is kind of our new character counts. So we made up rules for respect, responsibility, integrity, leadership and collaboration, and persistence. We all signed them as a pledge that we were going to try our best to follow those rules. Biggest thing is that kids are safe, of course, with their words, with their hands, things like that. Kids are supported, so they're getting what they need. Academically, socially, things like that, emotionally. Respect is another huge thing in my classroom, and then challenged. So the way that kids are supported and challenged is that we have different groups for math and reading. Those are flexibly grouped, so just because your kid is in one group doesn't mean that they'll stay in that group. And I will explain how I come up with those groups on a different slide. So behavior management, we do a lot of whole group, try to keep it as positive as possible. We do a lot of modeling and practice. We do a lot of writing down expectations, lots of proactive strategies. If I see that kids are just glazed over and they're not really paying attention and it's a little rough, our kids are starting to mess around, then we might get up and move a little bit, do a little dancing, do a little yoga, whatever we need to do. We start every morning with a morning meeting where we reiterate our goal, our behavior goal for the week. So like this week, our behavior goal is responsibility. So we talk about how we're responsible at home, how we're responsible in the classroom, how individual people are being responsible, how Mrs. Wiafe is trying to be responsible. And then we're also going over our habits of work rubric that I will use later on as I grade. So we have that how focus for the week. I also use natural consequences. If I've asked you 2 times to not tip over, to not tip your chair and you accidentally fall, that's a good learning experience. Individually, we have how slips, which are those habits of work. So kids can get those from me if they're caught being respectful, responsible, things like that. Really how we're going to use them is we're going to have a closing meeting on Friday where we get to give each other slips. So I can give out slips, kids can give each other slips, and we'll also do verbal praise. Curriculum for reading, our focus in third grade is vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. I believe in a balanced literacy instruction, so I will still do a little phonics so that kids don't have holes and that they're able to sound out words. We won't really do much phonemic awareness, which is understanding how words sound, just because that's not really a third grade thing. But we will kind of dip into all the different areas of reading. Wonders is our reading instruction. We'll have a whole group reading time where we use that. I do reading centers. Those are flexibly grouped. I get that information on where kids are going to be through STAR test and dibbles and what I see in class. We also have accelerated reader. That is a expectation for all students. We just got the permission to start it on Monday, so I will teach that at some point in the near future. Accelerated Reader is where you take a quiz, comprehension quiz after reading a book. Walk to Read happens Monday through Thursday. We will start that September 10th. That's where your kids are flexibly grouped, and kids who go to Gifted and Talented will go to Gifted and Talented. Kids who need enrichment but aren't, at the status of Gifted and Talented yet will go to a different teacher. Kids who aren't in tutoring but need more help will probably come to me. And then kids who are kind of in the middle will go to a different teacher. So we might be teaching or reteaching concepts, enrichment, research projects, project-based learning, genre studies, novel studies, poetry work, things like that. I also do a read aloud every day where kids get to hear me fluently read. We can talk about things that, that we find in the book. So for writing, we have Writer's Workshop, so we'll do that every day. We'll also have a chance to work on writing. For spelling, we are at this point doing 10 words plus 2 words that follow the phonics pattern that they don't know. And then I'll do a dictation sentence as well. As the school year goes on, we will get more challenging words. We will probably do more words. It just kind of depends on how we do. For math, we have Math Expressions, which is our curriculum. We are focusing on multiplication this year. We have multi-digit addition and subtraction. We also will do division. We will do polygons and measurement and all of those sort of concepts. We do math centers, so once again your kids are flexibly grouped. Kids that go to Gifted and Talented go to Gifted Talented. Then I split the kids into 2 groups, and that way I can give them the instruction that they need. We also go to ST Math once a week, and your child can always do ST Math at home. For curriculum, for science, they will get taught science by Mrs. Swihart, rocks and minerals, then states of matter, then organisms. I'm going to do social studies, so human geography, history of the Pikes Peak region, economics. We'll focus on Teddy Roosevelt as our president, and then we'll do other notable holidays. For character education, we will see Mr. Zell once a month, and then weekly classroom habits of work focus that I've already talked about. For projects this year, we're going to do pass-in projects, so every Friday we will have time where kids get to research what they would like to research, just as long as it's school appropriate, of course. And then we will do presentations quarterly. At least one of those presentations you will be allowed to come and see as parents. And then we're going to do flat connections with the other 3rd grade classes, and that's where we get to work with another classroom around the world to study problems in the environment. Here's our normal schedule. Morning meeting, math centers or ST Math specials, walk to read, small group literacy centers, whole group reading, recess and lunch, read aloud and respond, writing, recess, and then science, social studies, or extreme math. Extreme math will be taught by Mrs. McCaslin. For homework, please check agendas every day. Please check the Chipeta folder every day. Children need to read 30 minutes a day. They need to practice spelling words. If I were you, I would do a pre-test with the child on Monday, figure out what your student needs to learn, and then focus on those words throughout the week. Friday, we will do a spelling test. For math homework assignments, if your child comes back and it has a star on the very top, it means they did everything correct. If they have a check, it means that there was either something missing, maybe they missed one problem, maybe they missed a whole bunch. And the way I write it in my grade book, 4 is completely awesome, no issues. 3, they made one mistake, forgot something, things like that. 2, we have some problems. 1, we have a lot of problems. And the reason that we do homework is it's a check to make sure that your child is learning what I'm teaching in class. It's another practice opportunity. And then it's also an opportunity to make sure that they are in the right group that they put them in. Let's see, your child can always do ST Math at home. I will send out the directions for that in one of my my next newsletters. And then for extra math, I will send out information about that when I set that up. That's drill fact practice. Assessments, let's see, we have Galileo, which happens twice this school year. Those are computerized math and reading tests. STAR test happens at the beginning of this quarter and then quarterly. That's a reading test, multiple choice. Dibbles happens 3 times a year. That's another reading test. Those are quick. CMAS will happen in March or April. That's our big test that we start in 3rd grade. We will have math unit tests. We will also do pre-tests so I can group your children. We have weekly spelling tests. We have AR tests, which are the comprehension tests. And then, of course, formative testing measures used daily, which just means thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm observing. I'm making sure that your children are getting what they need. So our work, teaching, learning, assessing, is driven by the Colorado Academic Standards. We use a standard-based reporting card, which means I will not average grades over the duration of a quarter. We have lots of volunteer opportunities still left. Those will be available for you on open house. Hopefully you can sign up. We still need a class photographer, ST Math person, a room parent and PTA liaison, Room parent helps plan parties, things like that. We also need more people for math center support and reading center support. So I will have those opportunities available to you later. Make sure your child brings a snack every day. Please read the newsletters that come out on Thursday or Friday. For birthdays, if you want to do something special like bring in a treat, please email me at least a week beforehand. Our buddy class will be a kindergarten class. I've already talked about ST Math and Extra Math. SumDog is also another program that your kids can play once I set it up. We will do field trips throughout the school year. Please consider supporting PTA. They do amazing things for our class. Apex Fun Run is coming, and Gifted and Talented testing was last year. Those children who did well in that plus other testing are in Gifted and Talented. I will continue to look throughout the school year to see if there's anybody else who needs to be in it. If you ever have any questions or comments or anything you need, please email me. That is the best way to get to me. Thank you.